Welcome to Happy on Purpose with Janess Pearson. Real conversations with the people behind the businesses, the projects, and the good things happening in the Okanagan.
Welcome to Happy on Purpose, the show where we meet the dreamers, doers, and difference makers helping the Okanagan become a healthier, kinder, and stronger place to live. I'm your host, Janess Pearson, and today my guest is Karen Pickering. Karen has spent more than 35 years in the beauty industry and the past 15 years as a photographer, a stylist, helping women see themselves in a whole new light. Since moving to Kelowna, she's dedicated her work to her signature Fabulous Over 40 campaign. I can't wait to get into that. Celebrating the strength, wisdom, resilience, and beauty of women while inspiring a new narrative around aging. A passionate nature lover and outdoor enthusiast, Karen draws inspiration from the beauty of the Okanagan, creating meaningful portrait experiences that help women reconnect with themselves and the natural world. Karen, welcome to Happy on Purpose.
Oh, thank you.
I'm excited about this. I love the Fabulous Over 40 campaign, so I'm excited to get to that part. But first, how did photography become this kind of photography? You could have photographed almost anything, but what led you to focus on helping women see themselves differently?
Wow, thank you. That's a great question. So looking back through my life, I think there's different elements and things that kind of all played into that. I was very creative, always creative when I was small, and I had a camera and I'd walk around and photograph flowers and I loved all that. And so that was the beginning of my photography. And then I graduated to landscapes and then to people. I got brave. I'm like, you know what? That would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
So I did weddings and babies and all kinds of things, right? In the meantime, I had a hairstyling career and I still actually work part-time doing that. So I was in the beauty industry. I got to chat with a lot of women, and something in there was just telling me that I wanted to go a lot deeper. I wanted to create something that merged my passion for the beauty industry as well as my photography. So that's kind of where it all birthed. And then I came up with the name Modern Goddess Studio, which I thought was super powerful for women.
Yeah.
And there's like a little voice though, because where I was before was a really small town. And there's like this voice saying, you know what, you might have to move to a bigger center where this is going to be more received by more women. So lo and behold, I ended up moving to Kelowna about 5 years ago now. And keeping in mind also what was connected with my past. So I watched my mom struggle a lot with depression in my younger years. And so I feel like I've always been a crusader for women, always wanting to inspire women, to uplift women. So when I moved to Kelowna, I had this really strong nudging. It was like, okay, you're gonna launch this. You have to do it now. If you're gonna do it now, this is the time, right? So I threw out an ad and I had no idea if anybody was even gonna respond to it.
Good for you. Good for you.
It was just like, well, just try it, right?
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. The very first woman that answered my ad, I remember we're having this conversation and she says, well, don't you want to see my face? And I said, no, I don't need to see your face. It's not important to know what you look like. And it turns out that this lady was burned to 80% of her body. And this is why she kept asking me, do you want to see? And I said, no, this is about capturing your soul and honoring the person that you are. So I got to know Linda, just an amazing lady. And she spoke at the gala about beauty. This really triggered inside of me. Like, I knew that I was on the right path. She was sent to me for a reason, right? Because I all of a sudden recognized that the layers and the depth of my work, of the women that wanted to share their stories, they're there and they're going to step up for the experience. So I guess that was the beginning of me knowing that I was on the right track and honoring my mom, who had struggled through all those years, And even myself, like I struggled a lot in my 40s and 50s trying to find myself. And so I'm like, you know what? I just feel like all women deserve a day to be seen and to be heard. And that's how the Fabulous Over 40 came about.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so organic, and then the amazing part is the first woman.
Yes.
Right? We talk a lot about origin story and all the rest. And when you get that gift of seeing your vision with your first flipping client,
Yeah.
that gives me goosies.
I know.
So good. So why do you think this work matters other than what you have touched on? I know we've had a conversation prior, so I'm kind of trying to dig a little bit, but how do you feel helping one woman change the way she sees herself and how that ripples out to the family and friendships and our community?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you have lots of stories about that.
I do. There's two things that come to mind with that. One is like, and I sometimes sit back and I listen, like what a woman is saying to herself, even when she looks at her photos.
Yeah.
Some are quite critical. If we are super critical and judgmental with ourselves, and we're saying that out loud to our children or our our grandchildren or anyone that is around us, they're picking up on that, right?
Absolutely.
So that's part of it. The other part is why it matters so much is because, for example, in this magazine, when a woman shares the truth about where she is, it's so powerful. Like truth telling in a collective is even more powerful. So just being able to show up like that ripples out because a woman will read that story and go, oh my gosh, like that's where I am right now. It's so relatable, and it's the healing and the generations of healing sometimes that we're faced with. And so that to me is why. So, and when I hosted the gala, I was hoping that this was going to happen, that there would be younger women, way younger than 40 show up. And they could see the representation of these magnificent women valuing themselves 40, 50, 60, 70 in their 80s. Like what a beautiful way to see ourselves, right? And to reflect that back to the younger generations who maybe, like I did, saw something completely different. So that's why I feel like it's very, very important and powerful.
Yeah, it really does change so much for the next generation. I'm raising 2 girls and 1 boy. And I see my oopsies in them sometimes, like my body image stuff or, never the not enough stuff, especially going through, divorce and menopause and life and just struggles. And I'm so mindful of that. And the crazy part is I have all the tools, but I think there's something about the visual, what you're doing with, you can't run away from it. It's right there. It's visual. You've taken these photos, you've stepped out of your comfort zone, and you can say to your kids or your grandkids or your friends, look what I did.
Yeah.
And it does inspire.
Yes.
I think what you're doing is really, really powerful. So you spend a lot of time with women who are stepping outside of their comfort zone. I just said that. It's almost like I knew. What are some of the stories women tell themselves before they ever step in front of the camera? Because I'm sure you've seen all of it.
Yeah.
I think, I feel like there's this super empowered moment where you're like, darn it, I'm going to do it, and then the reality.
Yes.
That's kind of what I would love to touch on.
There is like a pull there. Like they'll sign up, they'll be excited, and then they'll go within themselves. If they start overthinking it, well, what if I don't like my photos? I'm too fat. I've gained too much weight. I'm too old. I have too many wrinkles.
My skin, my hair.
Right? And so there's a lot of things that start going through a woman's mind prior to the photo shoot. And so this is where I find it super important to really give a lot of encouragement to women and to just say you're beautiful just as you are, like you're perfect just as you are. Like I'm not looking for a model, and I mean that honestly. Like I'm looking for inclusive experiences, all shapes, all body sizes and colors, and grandmothers and mothers, and it doesn't matter, right? Like what matters is your desire to step up and to be seen in a different way and then be empowered by that. That's what matters the most.
Yeah. Do you feel or find that when other women look at all the other women in the magazine and they see themselves represented there, that that's even an extra boost of like, I literally did this with all these incredible women?
Oh yeah. Like I get stories all the time from women after, right? And after, it could be after the photo shoot or after the gala or the magazine, where they're like, wow, I did that. Like, I just feel like I kicked ass, and they have this like, just this like, wow, that comes out, and then they feel like they can go on and take on bigger things.
Yeah.
And, you know, one lady ended up going to the Dominican, and she reached out to me afterwards and said, you know, thank you so much. Like, this was a shift inside of me. And I realized that, you know, I can do things. I give each woman a bracelet that says bold at the gala. And that is like, step out and be bold. That's part of my brand, is get out of your comfort zone. Because where's the growth? Where's the expansion if we're always just doing the same all the time, right?
Yeah, I'm big on that right now in my little introspective journey and recreating myself. And I think there's something when we see ourselves one way for so long, and we were doing things one way for so long, and everybody else is doing those things. You know, I talk to my kids about this. We're told, you know, go to school, get a good job, get the house, get married, have 1.5 kids, start saving for their you know, that doesn't work anymore. And I think, just circling back to all the different women in your magazine, when I think of the photos, like the National Geographic photos or the photos that have stopped me in my tracks, they are not traditional beauty, whatever that means. They're not the same carbon copy over and over again. And I think that's what your gala and the Fabulous Over 40 and Beyond does, is it gives us this window of like, just because we were sold that thing, because that thing ends. That image, that ends at about menopause. Yeah. Where then we're going, okay, we did all that. Who are we now?
Now what?
Yeah.
Now what?
Do we still have beauty?
Yeah.
Do we still have value and worth? And then it's all about us.
It's feeling it.
Yeah.
And feeling it, and the women want to feel desirable and sensual and valued, right? So that's a huge part of it, because there seems to be, you're right, like at the age of 50-ish, things start dropping off, right? For women in particular. And so this is to say, hell yeah.
I'm still here.
We're here, and we can do it, right? We can do it at whatever age we can start things, and we can set a fire under our ass.
Yeah, right? Like we're going to probably be here. I think the average age for women right now is creeping up to 90.
Wow.
So you start to think, well, 50, for crying out loud, like,
we're just born.
We're just
babies. It's like a rebirth at 50, right?
I totally feel that. I did see on your Facebook, and I commented on it and I definitely won't say the woman's name because we didn't get permission, but holy jumpin'. She is a fantastic curvy woman. Yes. And I looked at it for probably a solid 5 minutes. It makes me a little emotional. I don't know what her backstory is, but I just thought the courage to do that, not because of anything other than she just literally showed up for herself.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not traditional, unless, you know, I guess that's sort of changing. Like Dove has started their whole campaigns around just naturally what real women look like. Yeah. But I just thought, I would love to know her story. Yeah. And so I'm looking forward to hearing about her.
Cool.
She is, I love it. Okay, so on to the next question. And what usually changes by the end of their experience? So we've talked sort of about the courage to get there. They get to the gala. You've mentioned that one woman went to the Dominican. But what surprises you most after all these photo shoots and all these women about their transformations? Or is there one person that still stands out in your mind that you haven't already mentioned?
Well, I had one last year that wanted to do a special photo shoot. Her dad had cancer, has cancer, and she brought her dad's car to the photo shoot. And she's crazy about like vintage anything, right? So we did that photo shoot. I actually had to learn how to put in the victory rolls in her hair prior to, so we did all that, went out, did the photo shoot. And at the reveal party, which I always have every year, she opened up the magazine and she was the spread. She was the middle spread, and her eyes just got really big. And she just got really emotional, right? Because it was just like that little kick of confidence that she needed to see herself in a different way. And since then, she's gone on to like do so many different like pinup model opportunities. Like she's just, you know,
that
and so
retro feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it was just that, you know, like she literally said that it changed her life. And so if you're open to it, the opportunity can change your life. Right. You know, you have to be ready. You have to be ready to be seen and to be heard. And not all women are, but, and I honor that too. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I do still do photo shoots where women aren't involved with the gala. They want to be more private, and that's absolutely fine. So the Fabulous Over 40 definitely has more exposure to it, and you have to be ready to share your story and to put yourself out there.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm realizing we didn't really fully introduce what the fullness of the Fabulous Over 40 is. So maybe let's just circle back to that again. And we know how it was sort of born, but what is it?
Yes.
What is it from start to finish?
For me, I mean, this isn't like a reinvention. This has already been out there. Other women are doing the Fabulous Over 40. For me, just ending with a photo shoot didn't feel enough. Like I really want to carve an experience out for women that is going to change their lives. So it's, you know, coming for their photo shoot, planning that with them. Like everything is very, very tailored. How do you want to show up? That's what I say. How do you want to show up at this time in your life?
Yeah.
Is it boudoir? Is it sensual goddess? Is it like more legacy? Like, you know, just thinking about it and giving them that opportunity to decide for themselves how they want to show up.
Yeah.
And then creating the gala where they're able to bond with other women that are going through the experience.
Other modern goddesses.
Right?
Yes.
And so that becomes super empowering because at the gala, they get to see all the other women and come together and just feel the power of the collective. And, you know, I have a commemorative gift giving at the time. And we talk about, you know, I have guest speakers who come on and talk about different challenges they've been through and what's helped them through their aging process. And then the magazine is the icing on the cake. So this is like the visual that they get to keep. It's their heirloom kind of keepsake, right? Where they can look back and read each other's stories and even share that. Like I've even had women buy this for their granddaughters and their daughters to share with them. Even maybe they weren't part of the experience, but they just want to share this magazine as a gift. This is the greatest gift that you can give somebody, is to let them see you in your power. And
yeah, I feel like, again, we sort of touched on it earlier, but I do feel like that's so interesting to me that you said that, and it makes perfect sense. We should be giving these to our younger generation to say, read all these stories. Every woman had self-doubt. Every woman wondered where her place was. You know, so then to say, normalizing this experience rather than just kind of muddling through it, pretending like everything's okay, you know? Isn't that a woman's, I'm okay, I'm fine, I'm okay, I'm fine. Are you?
Are you really?
Yeah, and it's okay not to be okay, 100%,
Yeah, it's okay to show up as a hot mess, you know?
Yes.
I'll just hold you there, like I'll accept you there in that place, because we're all in different spaces and places in our lives.
I think there's beauty in the messy middle.
There's beauty in the chaos, absolutely.
Yeah, I really do. For listeners that are just tuning in, I wanted to reintroduce you. This is Karen Pickering. She is the owner of ModernGoddess.ca.
Modern Goddess Studio, yes.
ModernGoddessStudio.ca. And we've been talking about confidence, self-image, and what it means to truly see ourselves with compassion. It's a conversation that reaches far beyond photography, as we're finding out. And I think you'll hear why Karen's work has touched so many women. So you've built more than a photography business. You've got the gala, you got the magazine, the legacy work that is coming. What have you learned about what women are really longing for right now? What's the one thing you hear the most?
Women just want to feel seen and
Yeah.
valued, and they want to feel beautiful again. You know, like there's so many things that come into our lives that can derail us from that and take us away from that. And so that's what I see the most is, and when each woman shows up, this is just so vital, I think, to set the stage to having her photographs done. Is when she shows up with me, we sit down, we have a snack, we have a chat, and sometimes they share things with me that they've never talked about. So it releases the pressure, it gives them a trusting space before they even go into the photo shoot. And that really hits me, you know, like that's something that I didn't expect so much to come out of all of this, is holding that trustful space for women who are dying to share their story, maybe just in person, it doesn't have to be publicly, and just to be honored and accepted and loved for where they are. And then we go into the photo shoot.
Yeah.
And they feel like more of a sense of, yes, I can have fun. I trust this lady. I can relax, because that's what I say, just relax and have fun, right?
Yeah.
But let's say they were just to walk into a photo shoot cold. I'd never met them before. We didn't have that chance to talk. They weren't feeling necessarily a connection with me. The connection piece is absolutely vital in what I do, in the work that I do for women, because it's super vulnerable. Like, think about it, right? To just walk in and do this and have a woman capture you and on camera, and to be bold and brave to do that, that's a big step.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. So kudos to you for being able to create that space. I talk a lot about rapport and being able to create that safety, the container, and that's what I hear. I think that is probably one of the biggest things that people who are successful, whatever that looks like to each person, they're the ones that can create that safety, that rapport, that feeling of trust, and quickly.
Yes.
Really quickly. I think because if you are that person, you can embody that, right? And then it sort of shines out to the people that come through. Yeah. And honestly, there is probably nothing more vulnerable for a woman than being photographed.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is, you know, crazy to me. All the badass shit we do. Oops, I just swore twice in my own show.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
But really, truly, right? Like that, it really is a very vulnerable thing. So thank you for the work you're doing. I really think it's amazing. So what has this work taught you about beauty and confidence, or just simply about being a human woman?
Well, yes, I appreciate those questions. Well, beauty, I mean, in my tagline of, and I've thought about this for a long time, because it's the evolution of our beauty that I wanted to capture. Because we're pretty, and we're pretty when we're like in our teens, in our 20s, and even in our 30s. But then something happens. Our bodies start changing, right? Our skin starts getting saggy, and we're not pretty anymore. So how does that translate? How do we still feel beautiful?
Yes.
Like all the things that we obsessed about, you know, about our clothing and about how other people felt about us. We are sort of cultivating something a little bit different, I find, in our 50s, 60s, 70s. And like for me, just your smile is beautiful. The kindness, the acts of kindness that you do for people. It becomes more of a soul's journey, right? In terms of how is your soul beautiful? How are you reflecting that outwards? So for me, when women get a little bit too fixated on the physical, which is normal.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to look good. Everyone wants to have the exact right outfit to be photographed in. But sometimes I encourage women to come back into their heart space.
Yeah.
And feel all the amazing things that they've done in their lives, like whether it's motherhood or their career or whatever it is that's made them a special person, rather than fixating so much on the physical.
Because when you think about how much women do, what we carry, the supporting role that we play
Yes.
in almost everybody's lives,
Yeah.
to get that moment to be front and center and just say, yeah, I'm here. I'm still here. I think that's really quite powerful.
I wanted to mention too about the confidence part, because a lot of women feel that they have to be so confident.
Yeah.
But it's the confidence actually comes by doing something that's pushing you out of your comfort zone.
Agree.
It's the process, right? So if you allow yourself the process, then you're going to feel that kick of confidence afterwards. So
Yeah.
that's the thing that sometimes I hear a lot, where women feel a lot more confident afterwards. And that's what they want. They're craving that.
Yeah.
Right?
To know we're still relevant.
Just about
to
walk
know we're
around
still here.
in your bathing suit, in your bikini with your stretch marks and
Life
our life
on your body.
the lifelines that we have. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I totally agree. If you could give every woman listening one small challenge this week, something that might help her see herself with a little more kindness, what would it be?
Oh, yeah. Well, I even practice this for myself, but it's like turning the inner critic into an advocate for yourself. So whenever you feel yourself going down a negative route, like I can't do this, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, just pause and go, okay, but if a friend was encouraging me through that, what would they say to me, And sometimes I'll be in my head a lot, and I'll go to sleep at night and I'll go, you can do this. I can do this, right? And so simply saying that to yourself, I can do this, gives yourself permission. Your subconscious picks that up. And all of a sudden, it's like you wake up the next day, and instead of feeling like you got a big block or a big cloud hanging over you, things start opening up because you've allowed that to happen, right?
Yeah. There's lots of language around manifesting or holding it in your present mind. And it's all true. It's just what we tell ourselves, like you just said, that ruminating. But what I love about what you just said is you got to get it out of your head to your ears.
Yeah.
So I envision you like telling yourself this, like quite literally, that you can do it. And saying it out loud is actually super powerful. People say, oh, I put it on my mirror. Well, that's great. That's still visual, which is wonderful. You need it out of your own mouth and into your own ears. Yeah. That's wonderful. All right. Before we start to wrap up, what's one thought, quote, or piece of wisdom that you'd like to leave with our Valley FM community?
Yeah. For me, I've always been super shy in my life, and I've actually not done certain things in my life because I've talked myself out of it. So I think probably the most profound quote for me is like, it's feel the fear and do it anyways. Everything that you ever wanted is on the other side of fear. And if you think about that, I remember watching some fireworks go off about 20 years ago. I was just watching these pop off in the sky. And this just came to me profoundly, right? Like sometimes we have to stop and look at our patterns, and we have to look at how we are showing up. Like what shift do we want? Like, are we actually showing up, or are we saying no to a lot of opportunities that are coming our way because we're scared? We don't know how to we don't know the outcome. There's just so many things, right? We can talk ourselves out of so many things.
Yes.
So that's the biggest thing for me. The biggest word of wisdom is just show up. Show up for yourself.
Yeah, I think that for yourself is really important because women are showing up all over the place. Show up for yourself like you would for
yeah.
someone else. Like you said, a friend, or, you know, how many women have been the supporting roles in their marriages or their children's lives, and all amazing and part of the story, all super wonderful.
Yeah.
We just forget ourselves sometimes.
Yes,
yeah,
do.
that's what I'm hearing all over your work. Show up for yourself.
Show
Show up for
up.
yourself. So where can people find you? What is the best way for them to hear about all of your good work?
Well, you can find me on Instagram
Okay.
under Modern Goddess Studio, and my Facebook is the same, Modern Goddess Studio.
Simple, easy.
I also have a website, just moderngoddess.ca. And we have a gala that's coming up in October. So any women that actually want to come and see other women being celebrated, and, you know, it's a community thing. It's you don't have to be going through the experience. You can just come and you can witness the women that have gone through it, and celebrate them, you know, for having the courage and the vulnerability to inspire other women.
Yeah. It makes me think, you know, we have the father-daughter dances and stuff. I think this would be really great if you have a daughter and you want to bring her.
Yes.
You know, just come together
Yes.
and attend this, or a aging mother and somebody. Yeah. Oh, there's just so many
Definitely.
great ways to show. Well, Karen, thank you for joining us and for reminding us that sometimes the most important picture we ever change is the one we carry of ourselves. And if you'd like to learn more about Karen Pickering, again, it's Modern Goddess Studio on all things online and social media. Thanks for spending time with us. And if today's conversation encouraged you, inspired you, or gave you something to think about, please share it with someone else. Till next time, I'm Janesse Pearson, and this has been Happy on Purpose. Take good care and keep noticing what really matters. Thanks again, Karen.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. You can find more Happy on Purpose conversations on YouTube.